Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Neonoclide and this is the first race at K1 Circuit for the 2026 season. They changed a lot of stuff this time around. The 2026 season is no longer 2 seasons with 6 races each. Now it's 11 races that takes place across the whole year. So that's interesting. But yeah, today was not a great day. I'm literally recording this just a few hours I've gotten home from doing this race, but this wasn't great. I'll keep it spoilers free. You'll see what happens. But I had a great cart. This is cart number 48, I think. Yes, number 48. This is cart number 48, and this is our first qualifying session. Cart 48 was actually really solid, and genuinely, I felt so quick in it. However, I didn't really come across a lot of traffic. I was able to put in a lot of good laps. But the cart's times weren't being recorded properly. Our whole qualifying session for everybody, they didn't record the times properly, and everybody had the wrong times, which was extremely unfortunate for me. I felt like I could be setting 77s, like 77.5, 77.2, something like that. But no, I got stuck with a 78.5, which isn't great, but we live with it. The first qualifying session is actually my best session. And if you're wondering why I go off track like so insane right there, they said that we're allowed to use as much of the track there as possible unless we touch the red part of the off-road. If we touch the red paint, then our fastest time gets deleted. I don't know how they monitor that, but that's just the rules, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to show you this lap, and then we're going to go ahead and fast forward to our second qualifying session, where I didn't improve. I didn't improve. I set a 78.6 because I had a slower cart. It was cart 47. I worked with it. I ended up racing with it as well, but it wasn't good. It was definitely pretty slow, and it struggled to turn. Cart 48 sorry, I have a little recording button and I just ended up reading that. But cart 47. Cart 47 wasn't super, didn't turn a lot. It was pretty understeering. But 48 was super oversteering and I loved it. But the times just didn't get registered for some reason. Registered 4 out of 6 laps for me. But even with the timing issues, I still feel like there was a lot I could do to improve. I just found a trick in the second sector that could help me go faster. So I'm speeding up the first qualifying here for you, and now this is our second qualifying. We've moved to cart 47. Yeah, so this wasn't a great cart, I think I mentioned before. Cart 47 was quick on acceleration, but the brakes, the brakes. You're gonna see in a moment. I'll probably show you like a few extra laps, but in pretty much every single corner I locked up. Like no matter how light I touched the brakes, it just locked up. So maybe we'll see it up here. I don't remember. I kind of battled this guy for a little bit because my car just accelerated way faster than him, but he didn't want to let me by. So he's gonna come up on my inside here. I don't think you can see him. I can see him. But he ends up letting me by. But yeah, we'll see, because this cart was not fun to drive. It was weird. It behaved very differently in qualifying than in the race. I used the same cart. It's very, very solid rotation here, very solid braking. I think you'll see most of my problems with the braking in turn 4, which is the first hairpin. I wouldn't even really say that's a hairpin. That's more of a... I think that's kind of like 2 turns. I don't know. We'll see. You can kind of see me struggling to keep it under control right there. Very minor, but it is something I could feel on track. But yeah, the brakes on this cart weren't good. I don't know if they just never warmed up or something, but it was just really tough to work with it. We're going up turn 1 now. Here's turn 2, and then here's turn 3. So turn 4 is the sharp right-hander. It's I'd say it's a hairpin. Can you see the... Nope, okay, I didn't have the locking issue there. Another thing with this cart, I couldn't get it to take this first turn of the S's without braking. It wouldn't rotate without a little jab of the brakes, which definitely slowed me down a bit. I really want to see the part where I started locking up a ton, because it was pretty bad. But once again, I didn't have that issue in the race, oddly enough. So here, that was the trick. So that corner I just took, not this one, but the corner before that, it's definitely a corner that looks like you could take it really quick. But because it's going uphill, I've noticed that it's hard to take it quick. If you take it quick, you end up just throwing yourself onto the rumble strips on the outside. And it just becomes extremely difficult to not go into the wall. The first time I ever actually went off track at the K1 circuit was in that corner because I was taking it too quick. So the little trick I found was just go really slow, and it works. A buddy of mine, he oh yeah, there you could see the lockup a bit. Well, a buddy of mine, I told him, yeah, I think I found this little trick with it, because we both hate that corner so much. And he tried it, and he said a 77 flat, which is very impressive for him. That's very good. He ended up being in the midfield A main. I ended up being midfield B main, which sucked. But it is what it is. I definitely think I could have gotten A main if my times were recorded properly. But this cart, I don't know what made this cart so slow. I don't know if it was because of the brakes or the acceleration was just deceivingly quick, aka it was just actually slow. Or if it's because everything was cold. I noticed that when we did this second qualifying session, we got all our carts from the south side of the track. And normally I'm coming in from the north side. And everybody was kind of slow. When we did, everybody was pretty quick when we got our carts from the north side, but when we got it from the south side, everybody was kind of slow. So it might just be the carts down there. I'm still waiting. I definitely had a pretty big lockup at some point. I bet you I'm doing it in every corner, but you just can't see it. It's definitely something you'd have to feel. But yeah, there were some crazy lockups today. I've had a ton of people spin out just right in front of me. But yeah, this I don't know if you've noticed if you've watched any of my videos prior, but this is a new camera. The camera before was a camera that you could rent from K1 Circuit. It's in this little box that it charges it, and you stick it on top of their rental helmets. And you record it, and you got to pay $10 every time. But yeah, now I have my own GoPro. If you're curious why I'm leaning over like that, it's because it's kind of an aerodynamic thing. When you lean over, you create less drag with your body, and allows the car to go faster. If you're into karting, you definitely know what that is. Let's see if you can see the braking here. No, interesting. But yeah, the braking wasn't fun on this from what I remember. And we'll go ahead and fast forward here. But yeah, even with the slower cart here, obviously there's room to improve. Where it is, I don't know yet. I'm definitely going to be watching this footage over and over and over and over and over again to try and get an understanding of how it can go faster. So this is the final race. I'm going to have to cut quite a bit of this because we do end up just sitting on the grid for a bit there. But I do want to show you the outlap. It was a very dramatic outlap. So this cart 33, had no brakes. Like, I had to push so hard just to get any response from the brakes. It was bad. I really hope they fix that. Somebody could get seriously hurt with this kart. But yeah, I didn't really notice it until coming down the S's. I was like, why can't I slow down? And it was just really bad. And then the guy ahead of me brakes pretty hard, so I brake hard. Not super hard, but hard enough to just stop behind him. And then this happens.
I got rear-ended. Yeah. I think I can get into pits.
Yeah, so the thinking here was I already was planning on swapping out this kart because the brakes were genuinely a hazard. But the guy just rear-ended me, which kind of just granted me free access, or free entry, I should say, to the pits. I was taking it really slow because when he rear-ended me, it felt like there was rear axle damage. It was hard to turn at first, but then suddenly it was fine. But yeah, so I end up going to the pits to get a swap out, and guess what cart I'm dealt? 47. The cart that I did not like in qualifying. But it is what it is. But yeah, so I'll, I think I'm just making a movie there. But yeah, so Kart 33 hazard. I'm really hoping they fix that. I don't know how that guy rear-ended me. Either his brakes were bad as well, which means he probably should have changed out his kart, but I didn't see him. Or he wasn't paying attention. And that's kind of what I'm leaning on. I mean, he had a lot of time. I mean, I wasn't going that fast. He had a lot of time to brake. But yeah, when he rear-ended me, it kind of hurt my back a little bit. But I'm feeling fine now. Yeah, so you're going to hear me talk to the guy here talking about the brakes.
I got rear-ended and the brakes don't work on this thing.
Oh, was that you over here?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Go over here to 47.
47? Cool.
The brakes don't work?
The brakes don't work, like, at all.
Oh, shoot, that's not good. Go to 47.
Okay.
That's not good indeed. It was really bad. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like no brake input. I don't know where this. Like there was brakes didn't work unless I pushed like 80%, and even then they hardly slowed the kart. 47 is a slower kart, as we know from qualifying. However, it does have some pretty good stopping power. Yes, it locked up a lot in qualifying, but otherwise it had good stopping power. I just had to be very careful with the brakes. So here I'm just trying my best to warm the tires because I'm the only one actually doing a lap on track right now, which means I could do a lot to warm the tires. And usually I don't really warm the tires much until just past after that point when we come out of the pits, because coming up to here, the S's warm the tires up like crazy. Leaning to the outside loads the tires with a lot of energy, and it just warms them up a lot. And then coming down the straight up here, big braking zone, so that warms the brakes up quite well. So don't need to do much to warm the tires up. You can see I'm just staring at the apex. But yeah, so that's Kart 47, and they're going to line me up. I'm going to go ahead and cut ahead because it is just a lot of waiting. But yeah, you can see I talked to a few marshals just to make sure I knew where to go because I was starting P11. So we grid on the back straight, and then we do a rolling start all the way to the main straight, which is interesting. I'm trying my best to get more heat into the tires again because we sit there for so long. There's no point in trying to warm the tires really when we sit there for so long. But once we got onto the main straight, I don't think the leader knew that they weren't supposed to go. Because I was genuinely full throttle at some point, just trying to keep up with them. Also, new rule, you can't be riding someone's rear. You have to leave like a cart's length between you and the guys ahead. I had an excellent launch here. Excellent launch. Gaining a few positions here, I believe. Yep, there it is. But I'm unable to hold on to it. A lot of the guys here were really aggressive. I don't think I've ever raced against people so aggressive before. It was insane. And yeah, I think that's all the positions I just gained. And then here's this guy with a crazy dive into the first S there. I was genuinely, it shocked me so much when he did that. It was such a hazard, but it was honestly respectable. I'm feeling ballsy, feeling like I can go for a dive here. I could, and I was hoping to get on this guy. I believe he's card 12. Yeah, 12. And but I couldn't get it on him. He's very quick. That guy dove really deep, but managed to hold it. I don't know if I wasn't being aggressive enough, or I slowed too much because I thought he was going to go too deep. He did go too deep, but just not as deep as I expected. And I think I lost a lot of time to these guys ahead because I'm a lot heavier than most people here. I barely make the limit for... So this is the light. This is the light class. There's light and heavy class. Heavy class is for people who weigh 180 pounds and over when wearing your gear. This guy was not paying attention to who was behind him. Oh! Forgot about that. But yeah, lockups galore, as I mentioned. We're gonna go around the inside on this guy, but he shuts the door on us. Not sure if he knew I was there. Kind of scary. Same here, just that he barely nudged the front of my, like the nose of my cart. I think you could hear me exclaim there a bit. This guy went way too deep. And I don't know what I was doing up here. I probably should have just let him go deep, but I tried going side by side with him here, and it just didn't work out. But he ended up getting rear-ended, and they spun. So that worked out in my favor. I just lost a bit of time to the guys ahead. I didn't really have a lot of braking issues with this kart during the race. So I got really ballsy in that corner, the final corner. I gained so much time right there, and that's because I either barely braked or didn't brake at all. I tried so hard to catch up. This was a huge game of playing catch up, because this kart wasn't the best, and it was just hard to keep up with everyone. But yeah, just getting the door shut on me in every opportunity I see. I could probably dive deeper, but the reason why I don't is because I'm convinced that nobody here knows how to look behind them. So they would just turn in on me, and we'd crash together. Now, do I go for the dive here? I do. I don't make it stick, though, because I was a little too far back. I don't know what I was looking for there. And it's really unfortunate, too, because at the end of the race, my GoPro died. So you don't really get to see what happened, so I'm just going to have to describe it to you. But here we have a really good run in this guy, and I'm going down the inside. I think he tries to get a... yeah, he's alongside my rear right. He tried to get a switchback on me, but I just had a much better exit than him, so I just pulled away. And again, I get really ballsy with the final corner there. Go really deep. I think the guy behind me caught on to what I was doing as well, because he was alongside with me, or not alongside with me, but like right on my rear, while we were both catching the guys ahead like quite quickly. Going for the dive here, make a little bit of contact, nothing too special though, and he keeps the position. I'm very brave with going for as many dives as possible, but I'm not brave with committing to the to the dive because I'm afraid that these people are just gonna like turn into me. So what happened there was that guy just rear-ended me in the S's, almost shoved me into the wall and just took the position, which kind of angered me a bit. I was like, what the hell, dude? Why are you shoving me around? You could if you go back, you could definitely see my my head bounce back a little bit. But we go for the dive again. He makes sure to shut the door on us. I'm riding the curbs a lot here because I go for the dives. They don't see me and don't really leave a lot of space. But then again, I am on the inside, so. But yeah, so huge game of trying to play catch up, and oh, they made contact. I forgot about that. That was a scary moment for me. I thought I was gonna go into the dirt and possibly spin out and crash, but I managed to keep it on track. They both ended up. I'm sorry. One of them ended up crashing. The guy in red, the guy who hit me, stayed behind. He was actually just holding his pace with me, but he was never able to catch back up. Yeah, he was either too aggressive or was intentionally shoving people out of the way, which I'm not a big fan of. That's very, very aggressive. Let me see how much time left we have in the race because the GoPro. Okay, so the camera dies soon in about 2 minutes. So I'll tell you what happens. I catch up to the guy ahead. I make an overtake, if I remember correctly. And my cart dies. Which is really unfortunate. The cart dies on the final lap, and I had done so much work just to try and play catch up. Here, yeah, I gain a lot of time on people in that final corner because I carry so much speed through it. I don't know why he was weaving there. That was a little strange. But it's on this straight where my cart dies. So look for the overtake here. I believe he also goes for the switchback on me. Yeah, you can see he touched my cart a bit, and I nearly spun out, but we were able to keep it together. I went kind of slow and really tight in the S's because I didn't want him to get a switchback on me in the S's and end up having a better entry to the final S. Which worked out. He was never able to take the position back. And the camera dies now. Now? Almost. There it is. So yeah, in short, my cart dies on the final lap and I get DNF'd. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. But there's always next month. And hopefully we aren't so unlucky. So thank you so much for watching. Liking and sharing and subscribing would definitely support me, and we're definitely on a road to get to real motorsports. Hopefully Formula. Don't know what kind of Formula, but we're trying. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next month. Ciao, ciao.